Hey guys, welcome back. I know that last lesson was pretty tough, so I hope you guys were able to really slow that down and really internalize those concepts that we were working on there. So this last lesson, 13, right before we get ready for another jam session, which is going to be really awesome, we need to take what we learned last lesson and really kind of develop this into some more advanced rock beats. So we're going to take this, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back to an eighth note hi-hat pattern. So once again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're back to that count on the hi-hat. So this is going to enable us to kind of speed this beat up a little bit and make it feel a little better, make it feel a lot less like an exercise and more like an actual drum beat. So let's start this thing off. Once again, we're going to have our 2 and 4 on the snare drum. Eighth notes here. So we're going to take this, we're going to do a one measure beat. We're going to have the 1 and the of the first group on the bass drum. So it's going to sound, so I'm just going to play the hi-hat and the bass drum so you can kind of feel how this works. So we'll have 1 and So now since we moved this to an eighth note, we won't have that hi-hat with that last note, but you should be comfortable enough now to where you can really hit those E's and the as well without really needing that to rely on. So let's try that one more time, just with and we'll do this a few times so you can kind of feel it. So we'll have 1. So that's just the first part of the beat there. So let's add that in. Let's bring our backbeat snare drum back in, and let's feel how that, see how that sounds like this. Now I'm also going to add a bass drum on 3. This will kind of even the groove out a little bit, make it feel a little better. So it'll sound like this. Now, let's take this next exercise. We're going to do the same thing that we just did, except we're going to add an onto beat 3. So it's going to sound sort of like this. This isn't changing. This is my anchor point. 1 and so you got that backbeat in there. Everything's revolving around this. These bass drum patterns are all either on the beat or on the E, the or even the and. So let's play that one more time. Now, they still kind of feel a little stiff, so they feel really like exercises. So what I really want to do in this lesson is make these feel a little more, just spice these up a little bit, make them feel a little more human, make them feel a little more like a beat, and it's something that's going to drive a band. So let's just kind of bump up the tempo a little bit, and we'll play the same pattern. Ready? So it feels a little better. It doesn't feel so sterile, so it's like an exercise. So at this point, you should be able to kind of speed these up, and your limbs, your legs, your arms should feel really comfortable as far as really kind of digging into the drums a little more. So let's go ahead and move on to exercise 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that same rhythm, that 2, the uhs, and we're going to do that on the snare drum. So you'll kind of see how this feels. So we're just going to do 1 and 3 on the bass drum. So we got 1. Now here's our snare pattern. It's going to change a little bit. So we got once again, we'll add the to the beat of 4 as well. So we'll have 1, taking the 2, 4, and learning how to play that on the bass drum to achieve a specific kind of groove, and also learning how to do that on the snare drum to achieve a specific type of groove. So this is going to lend real well to the jam session we're getting ready to have. So let's start off with just the first one we did, with just the bass drum, and obviously we're keeping our backbeat up here, hi-hat going. So we'll have. So the main thing here is getting real comfortable with each one of these exercises, 1, 2, 3, 4, and once again being able to play them back to back, be able to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, and just knock these things out, making sure your bass drum is right where it needs to be on the uhs, and also on the downbeats, the quarter notes, the ones and the 1, 2, 3, 4, and also getting the snare around this too. So so spend some time with that. Once again, get in the habit. I want you to spend time in this lesson getting in the habit. When you get these exercises down, make sure you play them even amount of bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, 12 bars, 16 bars, because in this next lesson we're going to have a set amount of bars that we're going to play with the guitar and drums and keys that'll kind of go right with what we're doing here. So making sure you know what those feel like when you play 4 bars or play 8 bars is really going to be helpful, so you don't have to really spend so much time counting as you do spending time making this groove feel good and making the rest of the band feel good. So once again, watch the video a few times if you need to. Make sure you got these things down before we move on to the jam session, and I'll see you guys in the jam room.